Into the Abyss, based on a true story written by Carol Chabin. On October 19, 1984, Wapiti Flight 402 crashed into the wilderness of northern Alberta. The plane was carrying 10 people, and only 4 had survived. The 4 survivors included Eric Vogel, the young pilot, Scott Deschamps, a cop, Paul Archambault, the criminal that the cop was escorting, and Larry Chabin, a well-respected politician. Before they could be rescued, they all had to face the challenges of the wild, the struggle for warmth, the shock of what just happened, and the exhaustion of living through it. These 4 survivors had to work together, persevere, support each other, and try to stay alive until rescue came. Many times these men thought about giving up, their limbs numb but painful at the same time. But in the face of death, everything became more clear. Everything was more appreciated. The smaller things in life mattered, and they can finally see what was truly important. The survivors began to contemplate life just as any other people would in a life-threatening situation. Into the Abyss follows the journey that these 4 men have been on ever since the crash, how it has changed their lives for the better, for the worse, and how the 4 survivors share a bond like no other. They know what it's like to have been through the struggle to survive. They share their determination, perseverance, hope, and helped each other recover. For Eric Vogel, the young pilot of Wapiti 402, the trauma was just too much to handle. He had quit his job as a pilot, and he is now a captain at Burnaby Fire Hall. He also volunteered for search and rescue in BC, and finds time to help out the Burn Fund charity. Scott Deschamps also left his job at the RCMP. He went to university, found his half-sister, and had children. Those 3 things were the most important things that occurred to him on the night of the crash. Larry Chabin eventually left politics, about 5 years after the crash. He was once attacked by 2 men that were stranded on the side of the highway, which he was trying to help. He spent a lot of time on philanthropy. And Larry had a long battle with cancer and unfortunately died at age 73. Paul Archambault had gotten engaged and was holding down a job, but his relationship slowly started to fall apart, and his life did as well. Paul sped down an ice highway and never made it to his destination. He was in the hospital and in serious condition. Paul later died at the age of 33. He was found on the train tracks. It was believed that it was due to hypothermia. Although these 4 men lived very different lives after the crash, one thing was for sure. The trauma stuck with them every day after. Whether the crash affected them for the better or for worse in the long run, they've all had their share of struggles. But these 4 men became close friends, and they gave each other the strength and courage to rebuild their lives.